Welcome to My Opinion here on My Opinion TV. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell so as soon as a video is released, you'll be one of the first to be notified. And this morning we want to look at three topics mainly. A double murder in Central Village, and what's taking place in Central Village. Breadman cut down in Red Hills Road. And then a video that has been circulating as it relates to a man brandishing a firearm on a woman in a vehicle. But first up, we want to talk about Central Village. And Central Village, a place that never cools. A lot of persons are unaware of how dangerous Central Village is. A lot of people don't know a lot of things that has been going on in Central Village. It's a difficult terrain for police, and a lot of law-abiding citizens that lives in Central Village is under siege from these gunmen who go about committing brazen acts. But Central Village mainly has been a place where a lot of gangsters originate from. Some originate from there and divert in various areas in Jamaica and also create havoc. It is also a place where a lot of criminals would go for hiding because it's difficult for police to maneuver that area and to police the whole community. And then persons are always on the lookout for the police to tip off these men, so they take away themselves by the time the police arrives. But the latest incident in Central Village happened on Saturday, where two men were killed. The victims are 23-year-old Javon Nugent, otherwise called Spitty, a construction worker, and Kevon Tolo, whose age was not given, both of Central Village. The police say the men were killed at about 9:27 p.m. on Saturday by a group of men armed with high-powered weapons who pounced on Nugent and Tolo while they were in a yard of a premises. The men opened fire, injuring the two men. The police were called, the injured men taken to hospital, and they were pronounced dead. And as I've said before, Central Village, whenever you don't hear them in the news, it doesn't mean that they are cooling. Sometimes things are happening, but it has not hit mainstream media. Sometimes you'll hear from a friend or you'll see it on some form of social media. Because even yesterday I saw someone posted on social media that from the start of the week, 6 to 10 people have died. I don't know if that's true. I can't confirm that. That could be over exaggerating what's taking place down there in Central Village. And we also heard that persons were killed across the road from the police station out there in Central Village. So it's a lot of things going on in Central Village. But as I've said before, it has not hit mainstream media. And when it doesn't hit mainstream media, persons might take it for granted that nothing is happening out there. But in truth and in fact, things is always happening. Any communities that you have too much lane, you find gangs building. It is difficult for policing. It is such a difficult place. And Central Village, one of the most dangerous community in Jamaica. But a lot of persons are not knowledgeable about how dangerous such a community is. Well, the police has gone as far after those incidents now to impose a curfew in Central Village. So sections of Big Lane, the curfew started yesterday at 6 p.m. and will continue until 6 p.m. today. And in order for the police have mean string up boundaries as it relates to where the curfew will start and where the curfew will end. And what makes these Central Village men very difficult is to deal with is because one, the river is behind them, and you have some hilly terrains also in Central Village. And next thing, sometimes when they cross the river, they can be in various communities. They take away themselves crossing the river, various communities. And let me tell you that Ryakobo River is a place where a lot of dead persons have been washed away by that river, because men have done their deeds and have put bodies sometimes around there. And when there's a heavy flood, we don't hear nothing about those persons who are washed away. And sometimes when persons are missing in that community, you'll never find them again. But let's hope the police can bring Central Village under control. It is a very difficult place to bring under control. It's a very difficult place to police. But we hope that the police, with the intelligence of residents, will bring some halt to this crime situation in Central Village. I can't I can't substantiate the point that the person made on social media that 6 to 10 persons have died over the last week in Central Village. But as I said, 2 men were killed on Saturday night, and now the police have imposed a curfew on the area. So let me know what you think in the comment section. The other bit of news we want to talk about is the man notoriously called Breadman of Red Hills Road. Police are investigating his murder, and the Jamaica Loop says a popular and elderly man of Red Hills Road, but based on what we are hearing, he's no elderly man. He's a big man, but no elderly man. And based on what we are hearing, he had a colored past, right? The police reported that Breadman parked his Mercedes-Benz motor car across the community of 85 Red Hills Road and walked into one of the lanes there. He was reportedly approached by 2 men who were aboard a motorcycle, who shot him several times. The gunman then rode off from the crime scene. The victim was reportedly shot 4 times in the head, died on the spot. Breadman was a popular figure on Red Hills Road, and his death has sent shockwaves through the community of Kasha Park. Now, based on what we are hearing, I hope we hear that police and the Jamaica Defense Forces in the area, we hope they maintain some form of presence, because no doubt there'll be retaliation for his death. He has been a colored figure, Breadman, in the area. We understand he packs some form of influence. I can't say how much influence, but based on what I'm hearing, he's just not a normal man in the community. He has his cronies, he has his influences, and based on what we are hearing from on the ground is that persons are kind of listening out for retaliation. So the tension is high off Red Hills Road at the moment, Kasha Park area, because persons close to Breadman is reportedly not taking his death the way it ought to be taken. And based on what we're hearing is that there are threats being made for retaliation. But some persons, based on what we heard, were not so daunted by his death. Shots were fired in the community. Jamaica Defense Force and police are monitoring the area, and we hope they can remove the tension and the fear of residents in this community. But another person's fall by the gun. Jamaica still racking up murder figures. Last year we were #1, and clearly based on how things are going, it seems as if we're destined to head into that direction again. But we hope, how many times we have said we hope the Jamaica Constabulary Force will do what they have to do. But sometimes, from a human perspective, these officers must be tired, must be frustrated by these acts of brutality. And, they are the police and the soldiers, they are human just like us. If you are traumatized, can you imagine they who are on the scene most of the time, they will be traumatized too. But The police always need information to solve incidents like these. And if anyone is there who can give the police information, clearly the police have a listening ear, and they will be listening, and they will try to seek to bring the community back to some semblance of normality while they do their investigation into the death of this popular Red Hills Road man, Breadman. But let me know what you think in the comment section. The final bit of news we want to talk about is a video that we see going around where a man brandished his firearm. He was in a separate vehicle, he was in an SUV, and a lady who was in another vehicle with a child. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but a child. Now, based on what we saw on the video, we don't know what transpired, what started this incident, but based on the recording, we only saw when he brandished the firearm. Now, this man is totally out of order, and I hope the police, the FLA, will do their investigations, and I hope he will lose this firearm, and I hope he will be charged. However, what stresses me and frustrated me so much was the lady in the vehicle. While the man brandished the firearm, she kept on going at the man, going at the man. Now, we are living in a time where persons are crazy. You could hear the child, the fear into the child's voice, asking his mother to done or to leave it alone, mommy. You could hear the child seeing disaster that was likely to happen, but yet still his mother kept on going at it. And the language in front of the child was very disconcerting to me. And I hope she will get some form of counseling. I hope someone will sit down with her and talk to her, because listen, this is not the way to go. And I hope this man was a licensed firearm holder. But on a different day, on a different type of person, especially these gunmen, this would have ended in a different way, because she was not backing down, and she was really going at it and talking all manner of evil. Now, if it was one of those careless persons, they would just fire and don't care what happened, while the mother disobeyed the child, while the child was very fearful of what might have happened. Come on, Jamaica, we need to do better. This is not the way to end a conflict. This is not a way to solve a conflict. And a child is involved, we ought to know what to do. You have a child in a vehicle and you're going on the street, learn to be calm. Is this the way you want your child to grow up and live? Some of these kids live the life that they come and see in front of them. Some have the determination and the sheer willpower to try to find a different life or a better life, and knowing that this life that they will grow up in is not the way they want to live. But this video is discomforting, disconcerting, and this video have me troubled. But I hope the FLA will do their investigations, and I hope this man will be reprimanded and his firearm will be taken away, because that's not the purpose of getting an legal firearm. That's not the process. These are the criteria for getting a legal firearm. Is not for you to go out there and if there's a road rage, for you to pull your firearm. But so many things in Jamaica these days. Anger, frustration, everything builds up and creates animosity and problems. And at the end of the day, these are situations that help to grow the monster crime to a larger extent, and it affects every single person in Jamaica. So it makes no sense we turn a blind eye to these situations. We have to talk about them. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell, so as soon as a video is released, you'll be one of the first to be notified. Until next time, be safe. Look out for the children. Look out for a neighbor. Look out for a loved one. And most of all, keep it locked on My Opinion TV.